morning.
Hey, be careful, man. It's a strong pop this morning.
Oh no.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for Box Score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut.
hey, Brock.
Hey, McLovin, this morning, Mr. Dan Patrick said that the Golden State Warriors were one of the great all-time teams. Do you agree, or is this a bit of an overreaction Thursday situation?
I don't agree with that. And I felt strongly about this before, more strongly about this before they won the title. I think they're built to dominate in the regular season with their transition ball, and then they got kind of an easy road in the playoffs. Which is a very controversial opinion, but I think they probably would have won the title, but I don't think they were one of the great all-time teams. I mean, listen, what's his name? The second star, Klay Thompson, did nothing in the finals. But Steph Curry was inconsistent.
They were 5 games away from the Bulls' record for most wins in a season. That's pretty close. I mean, you can't accidentally do that. And I know you're saying I'm agree with you. Yeah, he was saying for one season they're one of the greatest.
Can you win that many games in the regular season and ultimately go on to win championship and not be one of the great teams of all time?
But aren't there a lot of mid-60 win teams these days? I feel like that's a thing in the NBA
They did close. I agree with you, though. If you make the case that they got some lucky breaks in the postseason to open the door for them. Now, when they got those breaks, they took advantage of them and they rolled everybody. They never gave everyone a really good chance to win it. So you got to give them credit. But they had a couple good breaks, not avoiding the Spurs.
I think the NBA, too, it's a very top-heavy league now. I know they're in the West, but you're seeing a lot of inflated records because the bottom teams start tanking hard.
Right.
So you're seeing a lot of 60 wins. I bet you the Spurs in their run had several 60 wins, high 60 wins. I'd have to check this. It'd be nice if I had some facts.
Yeah. We don't want to get.
I like the speculation much better.
It's probably more interesting.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you,
course
Steve.
it is. The Clippers are another team looking to show off their greatness, and of course, next season it'll be in the fashion world as they have some new uniforms. Paulie showed those off during the live look-in. Now, Paulie, this may or may not be a good situation for the Clippers, but what is the most ill-advised uniform switch of all time, would you say?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers bailing on the orange. I thought the orange, while some people are very disturbed by them, I thought the orange screamed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The colors matched Tampa Bay. Oh, a lot of people probably disliked
I
them.
liked them a lot.
I liked them a lot too.
That logo, the Buccaneer logo.
Yeah,
Those
the
creamsicle
swishy
Jolly
logo.
Roger.
The Selman brothers and
So lame.
so good.
Yeah, those were cool. I think they should go back to those full time.
Steve DeBerg. All right, well, Jersey guru Paul Lucas called in today and talked about the Clippers and their process when adopting the new threads.
I think they are trying to leave the Donald Sterling era as far behind as they can get. This feels like a rush job to me. Usually it takes 2 years, which sounds like a long time to just design a logo and uniforms, but they produced this actually very quickly after Steve Ballmer bought the team, and I think it shows. It feels like a rush job. It just looks like a makeover for the sake of a makeover, and it doesn't really say anything. It certainly doesn't say Clippers, except it spells out the word Clippers, but it doesn't feel nautical, or it doesn't have that feel of a well-integrated brand.
Yeah, I'm certainly not the uniform guru, our friend Paul Lucas is, but it does seem kind of hurried and rushed. And again, I don't know how much of it is, putting one era behind and moving forward from Donald Sterling, but it did nothing for me. It looked very boring, as boring, if not more boring, than the actual name Clippers. And I definitely didn't like the one with the little LA letters with the C as a border around it. It was just, they could have done a lot better than that, especially for a big glitzy city and market like Los Angeles. It was kind of lame.
That was lame too, and I always wonder who's in charge now. And if the guy in charge of the team, I don't know who's the boss out there. Obviously it's Ballmer. But do you think they pitched it all the way to Ballmer and he said, I like him, and all his flunkies like, okay, boss.
It's hard to
that's how
believe,
usually
yeah.
that's how corporate things are done. The boss usually says, I like it, and no one has the balls to say those are bland and not interesting.
And Ballmer's like so loud and theatrical. I can't do it the impersonation the way Seton does. But you would think it would be reflected in some way, shape, or form with the new uniforms to have this boisterous kind of wild owner and then to have such a
But then
bland.
again, Ballmer's a business and marketing genius.
Yeah.
So you also have to trust his opinion.
If they want to do it right, they just need to watch Miranda on Devil Wears Prada. Right, Seton? Okay. One guy who had a huge jersey change in his career was Michael Jordan when he went from basketball to baseball, and his manager and current Indian skipper, Terry Francona, called in today and talked about MJ's days as a baseball player.
I think if he'd have been willing to invest, 2 more full years, and by that I mean 900 at-bats, I really think he'd have found a way to get to the major leagues. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he'd have been an everyday player, but, in his first year in AA, after not playing for, 14 years, he found a way to steal 30 bases. He found a way to drive in 50 runs. I mean, and I also found out when you tell him no, he's going to find the way to make the answer be yes. Probably more than anybody I've ever been around.
Yeah, I found that pretty interesting because I remember Francona a little bit back then, but he wasn't very famous when he was coaching Jordan, managing Jordan in AA. But I remember that time very well. And Jordan, I didn't think was that awful in AA. Hitting 200. There's a guy in the Cubs I was watching last night. He's a major leaguer who's hitting 215, and he's got a starting job. So if your first 4 months as a professional baseball player you could hit 205 or something, if Jordan was all in, I wouldn't doubt him that much. I think he could have made the bigs. Francona knows more than us. But I'm really glad he didn't. What if Jordan would have hit 260 that first year? Would he have not come back to basketball because he could have seen the promised land? That would be fascinating.
Seton, if you could be a professional athlete in 2 sports at one time, what would they be?
2 sports at one time, man. It's hard to not say baseball for some reason. Well, basketball would be pretty awesome. Soccer would be phenomenal.
Soccer and surfing.
Yeah. Oh, does that count?
Yeah.
Does surfing count? Oh, then it'd be like snowboarding, skateboarding. No question. That's absolutely. I was trying to go a little more traditional, like soccer and hockey.
Yeah, but you might not cash in as much as snowboarding, skateboarding, unless you're one of the real top guys.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Baseball,
tough.
you sit around, you get paid a ton. You
Right.
sit around and watch movies
Baseball
all day
and
long.
basketball, you're getting a check.
But if you told me I could be the best
Concussion
baseball
rates
player in the world or the best
down.
surfer in the world, I'm taking surfer any day of the week. You don't have to travel. I mean, your travel is for fun. You get baseball, 162 games sitting out there.
It's a grind.
You would not handle that, son.
Yeah, oh, dude, seriously, I could
Not
not be
surfing sun either, though. So you're out. I mean,
Right.
you have to play in a dome. You're a basketball
But if
player.
he goes body glove head to toe,
I'm like a professional chess player, let's face it. Even like,
in the park, no way.
you know,
you can't even handle that.
the UV rays that come through the Raptor Dome in Toronto,
Sure.
forget it, that would kill me. I gotta, not in the park, okay, this is
indoor
crazy.
Indoor
chess.
Indoor chess.
Indoor park.
Theater.
We will see. Maybe we can get Bobby Fischer here to take you on. All right, coming up, why is Todd so happy? You know why? It's probably because he's dreaming about the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel at night. Oh my God. Climbing hills and towing boats and pulling trailers. And plus, with the Bluetooth technology, he can go hands-free while booking your guest. Oh my, this is just glorious. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
The only thing that could possibly top Harrison Barnes was if A.C. Green would have had his first experience after winning a title. I'm
Feels
saying
like.
to give the proper respect to our guest. I'm sure he sees himself as more than just the uniform guy. Just like I like to see myself as more as the guy that just gets the guests on the line. I'll catch you fish. I had one of those Nutrisystem orange cream bars, which was very
Yes.
good. If I could throw a shameless plug in there, it was really good right before I went to bed.
My wife sent, pardon my language here, did Fritzy get laid last night or something? He never talks this much.
Welcome back to Box Score. Boy, today it was impossible not to notice Todd Day Thursday. Very cheery, very comedic. McLovin, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Friday Fritzy or more of a Toddy Mopey Joe fan?
First of all, don't come into a one-shot of me after the break. That was a disaster right there. But I definitely prefer mopey Fritzy.
Do you really?
Oh, dude,
disappoints me.
It's painful. Painful. You hear the fake laughs and the theme songs coming from Friday Fritzy. You are a bit of a fake laughter on Fridays.
A little bit, but don't you rather me being joyful?
You know what?
No.
Here's what's funny about this. You're always down the middle of the road with everything. You can never decide anything. You can never give an answer. You're always like, if I ask you, what's your favorite number between 1 and 10, you'd be like, 5 or 6. You couldn't even pick that.
Sometimes 4.
But like with this, you either go extreme with Friday Fritzy or shut it down to nothing.
Even within the same show, though.
In the same hour, you had 2 great. If you heard me, that was an audible laugh by me.
That was an authentic
on your
actual laugh.
I thought that AC Green line was hysterically
I should have
funny.
just got out there, but then I'm like, you're like, how do you not?
But
not
what
talk
happens
the
with
rest
you
of
is
the
you open the floodgates and just start saying anything. Like, woo, just throwing it out there.
It's like Steph Curry said, I guess I'm not going to miss today. I'm just
Heat
going to
check.
keep swinging forward.
And then when you get critiqued in hour 2, you said, I kept checking my records, you said nothing in hour 2 and shut it completely down.
And then Doc Rivers got lost, and things went dramatically by the wayside.
But what we need is consistency. Just,
I'm gonna try to
a handful of funny things a show. Not being scared to open your mic if you have no guests, because F it. If you don't have any guests, who gives a damn? That's when we need you to actually be funny and be on the air. More so, when we have 6 guests, we don't need you, right? When we have no guests, when we have Pat 40 and that's it, that's when we need you to say like, doing my best, man. Let's just play ball.
It's a very, very fair point.
But you know what? Your job is not in trouble if you get Pat 40 on for one. And if Dan says, hey, we only had 1 guest, Pat 40, say, what about the other day when we had Calipari and this and this and this?
Yeah.
You know, it all evens out. Everyone knows you do your job.
Cumulative, Todd. It's not one day.
I know it's that feeling of you're only as good as your last performance,
Right,
kind of
but
thing,
this,
which I have to get past.
We're having a conversation that you and I have had now since 2004. And
it's just
you're
easy
better, but
I know it's just
you
easy
still
to slip
shut
into
it
those.
down.
No, it's easy to slip into those. Whether it's a guest getting lost in us, which is frustrating. And I know I'm not blamed directly for that, but it's still we're promoting it, and a lot of work went into.
But no one driving their
that
car.
person.
If they miss Doc Rivers, they're going to be a little PO'd about it, but they're not. They're going to get over it. If they lose Doc Rivers and you, then they've lost twice.
I like to look back at the end of the week and look at how many guests Fritzy promised and then didn't deliver on.
Do you have a list?
So far, we had Jay Farrow this week, didn't work out. That was your fault. Doc Rivers today didn't work out. That was also your fault.
Sure, there's a
Those
few
are 2
others
good
sprinkled in
ones
there.
that at least I noticed
Those are nice
a
ones.
considerable amount of like social media interaction with what the hell's Fritzy doing. I thought he was good at his job. Best
But
booker in the biz.
We know it's utterly insane how much responsibility Todd thinks he's for having these guests come on. Like, how much credit in his mind. Like, Jay Farrell getting in a plane holdup. Like, you take that personally.
I do.
To me, that's like, you really need deep, deep psychoanalysis on that.
Well, but also Todd's bulldoggedness also saves some things.
Yeah.
Like sometimes someone will try to get a guest out because they have something going on. Todd, like, whoa. We're gonna get him on. Either we're gonna get him on the phone or we're gonna get him, to give him his due. Sometimes him not letting these things go will make Jay Farrow come on next week, and his people will say like, hey man, we're really sorry. We're gonna get him on next week. Instead of just saying, okay, we'll get him next time. And then next time happens to be never because Todd won't let that go.
Todd is amazing. He is a
No,
bulldog.
because I
There's no
appreciate
doubt
saying
about
that because there are times where you're like, are you being lied to? Are they just trying to get out of it?
Yeah.
And it's not really that. And you don't want to, in so many words, call the agent or publicist that you deal with on a regular basis a liar. Like, tell me the truth. Like today, the Clippers said there was some kind of family emergency with Doc Rivers. I have to
Very
accept that.
understandable.
Yeah, and it would have been nice to know.
If they made that
sooner.
up, they're pretty terrible people.
That would be pretty awful. But there have been times, every once in a while where for some reason giving it that extra push or in a respectful way questioning, we have to get this done. We've been promoting it, and
Yes.
you can't just at the last minute tell us it's not.
Yeah,
gonna
if
happen.
Todd-
And then all of a sudden it did happen. So now that instigates. So now I feel like every time I have to fight
Yeah.
it because even if that happens,
But it's
once,
better if you put up a little bit of a fight because if you're a pushover in this business, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, and you don't want them to think next time around, we could always cancel at the last minute because they're not going to carry the way if something comes.
Boom.
Isn't it funny that Todd's the only one we evaluate? Like, all 3 of us evaluate Todd. Todd, you never think about the kind of job the 3 of us do.
No,
Never once made a
I'm
comment.
very aware of what you guys do, but I respect it so much that I'm
We
like,
never discuss it though.
You would never mention any of us did a good job or a bad job, ever.
I've
You've made, that's a funny joke, but you've said, that was a really funny bit, but you've never said, you
None
did
of
a good
us
job.
are called best in the business necessarily on a regular, on a weekly basis.
None of us are ripped because something goes wrong in the show, ever. Like, once in a while, but...
I guess that's the trade-off, but with that, I think with what I'm doing, it's the most easy to scrutinize kind of thing.
But I judge myself, and I'm sure everyone else does. I don't beat myself up, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I had a pretty nice show. Or I'm like, I kind of had a couple whiffs, or man, I think I crushed this, and I do it in my own head, and then you know what? I go get a bite to eat, and
I messed up. I had a span of 30 seconds, either yesterday or the day before, on the board that I messed up 3 things in 30 seconds. I had your mic down. I hit the wrong sound bite for Dan, and then I did like something else. That was all in like, holy crap, rapid fire. Like, wow, that was really awful. Like, I totally just.
But then you have a thing where you have the
move on.
The Jaws with the Jaws by Williams and the Jaws by Dvorak, and you're going back and forth.
It doesn't matter.
And you're the only one, right? But you're the only one in the room that could do that. And I'll sometimes just say to him like, nice. And
the only thing I've learned is that you have to get over it immediately. Because if you dwell on like, wow, I keep screwing everything up, then you just keep screwing everything up. You just have to get over it. All right, it happened. You can't take it back. Big deal. Move on.
Well, yeah, Todd, does it bum you out that your happiness sort of upsets your coworkers?
It does. I'm hoping they're just joking around, but with every bit of kidding, I would like to think ultimately they would prefer the.
You'd like to think of it. What do you actually think?
I think that they prefer me to be jovial and silly.
No.
And
what would make you think that?
No.
Like, what from us would make you think that?
Stand jovial.
Like, he's actually saying it.
I know. I'm just.
Like, what would make you? When he says he likes you upset and miserable and full of
It's not good.
spilkus.
I have to. I refuse to accept that. We've all been working together
during
a very
the
long
show.
time.
Did I use spilkus
During
right?
the show.
Spilkus was good. That was very good.
I like you happy
Spilkus,
afterwards.
aggravation.
Schmeckle of
I just comfortable with you just staring at your screen next to me.
I don't. But
I
I even don't like that person because that means
You know what I think it is?
I'm getting too crazed with what I'm doing, and I'm.
Cuts into my airtime.
There's too many happy, jolly guys in the back. Andrew's
Yeah.
the guy who's always right here, always in a good mood, always happy, right?
the happy,
And all of a
jolly
sudden,
guy.
Fritzy outshines Andrew's happiness, and he
Then
gets
I
all
look like a brooding. I look like a brooding neurotic in comparison.
stupid. Todd's happy.
That's my bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's take a break from this session of shiny, happy people. Hopefully, Todd Day Thursday comes back next week. All right, coming up, it's a Roe versus Roe that will hopefully inspire some sort of epic prehistoric blockbuster. We are back here on the Box Score. Guys, over the weekend, Jurassic World set a U.S. debut record with $208 million. Dinomania is back, but there is a lot of misinformation out there regarding our prehistoric hamburger meat. That's where we come in. We're going to straighten it out. It's going to be Roe versus Roe in a little game we call Boxorius Rex, real dino or fake dino. I give you a name, you tell me if it's a real dinosaur or a fake dinosaur. We will start with the front row. The dinosaur is Technosaurus. Technosaurus.
That sounds fake.
That's fake.
Saurus sounds like a dinosaur.
The
That's
Saurus
fake.
part.
If it was a more modern joke, it would be Ediomosaurus.
I'll go with C, fake.
Is it a fake dinosaur? I'm sorry, gentlemen, it is real. It was discovered in Texas by Texas
real
Tech
dinosaur?
scientists and named it in honor
That's not
of their
in any
university.
Of my son's books.
Never heard of Techno.
And maybe it did. Maybe it had the first molly. We don't know. Back row is up next. The dinosaur is Shantungosaurus. Shantungosaurus. Real or fake?
Like, why would they make that up? There's no get.
No, but they think they've been so
Right.
clever that they came up with this
like
name.
just totally random.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me like those words they have for drugs these days where that's not a word. You know, like Pantilla. The new drug.
Oh, like may cause mild case of death.
8,000 side
I don't
effects.
know.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You know, I'll trust
To
her.
help your
We're
psoriasis,
gonna
but
say
you might get kidney failure.
Shantungosaurus is not a real
Side effect
dinosaur.
death.
All right, is it a fake dinosaur? It is a real dinosaur, a Chinese
Speaking of
duck-billed dinosaur
Chingosaurus.
that weighs
Right. I think I
up
was
to
fake.
16
They would never
tons.
make
We could have had a nice 1-0 lead.
Yeah, could use some Nutrisystem. The front row, the dinosaur is Snorkosaurus. Snorkosaurus.
See, that's
There's no way Snorkosaurus is a real dinosaur.
Sounds like from a cartoon.
But do you think they're gonna do one of these where the producers make them all dinosaurs and wait for us to?
You know, if our graphics guys weren't so lazy, they would have real pictures of the dinosaurs so we could actually have proof that they were actually real dinosaurs.
Is it really laziness or inebriation that we're dealing with here?
Slash incompetence.
Incompetence.
Incompetensaurus.
All right.
Yeah.
That being said, that's not a dinosaur.
All right,
Snorkosaurus. I'm
is it
gonna
a
say
fake
no.
dinosaur? Correct. It is fake, and Fritzy actually alluded to it. It is. That's what Dino was from the Flintstones, so it was a cartoon dinosaur.
I knew it.
Back row, the dinosaur is Archaeoraptor.
Oh,
I like that one.
Sounds so real that I think it's fake.
Real field.
It sounds like that's what
It feels real.
Do you think that they might give us one that sounds real and it's
Wait, so wasn't that sure? Didn't you study in high school?
I know, but like, not so much with the dinosaurs.
See, I've read 1,000 dinosaur books with my kid, and
I'll go with your hunch. I mean, you are wearing a Greg Norman shark shirt, so
Yeah,
let's go
for
with
the
that.
US Open. So we're gonna say yes. It is a dinosaur.
You didn't buy that for real.
I actually did.
No, you did
This
not
was
buy
expensive,
that.
Too.
No,
This
you-
was like-
That's the one you paid for?
I bought several new shirts when I
That's
left
the
pounds.
All right.
Of all the
Show it to the camera.
It's all nice and silky.
Is it
We're gonna
real or
say that's a
fake
real
there?
dinosaur, and this is an expensive Greg Norman.
It's expensive?
It was pricey. For me, it was.
Is it a real dinosaur? Sorry, it is fake. The claimed link between dinosaurs and birds.
far,
It was
too
the
real, too
biggest
fake.
fossil elaborate
playing
hoax
at
in world history.
Todd, you're not in rhythm.
All right,
with
to the
messages
front
at all
row.
right now.
Your dinosaur is
Down two.
Sepa franosaurus. Sepa franosaurus.
I think that's got to be real because it's way too complicated for those guys to make up. Cephalorhinosaurus.
Unless there's some inside joke.
Let's go with it. I don't see the joke.
Yeah, there might be like a guy named Fran.
I'll say yes.
Okay, is it a real dinosaur? No, it is fake. It is actually from the first two letters of Seton and Polly. Sepa franosaurus. Okay. And finally, the back row. The dinosaur is,
Where's
let me get this right, Dracorex hogwartsia. Dracorex hogwartsia.
This is a tough one.
Hogwarts. This is the title thing. There's no
Yeah,
way.
this is some kind of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Hogwarts.
And they have 2, we have 0, so I don't think it's.
I thought no. We both go.
This is for the win. This is for the tie or the win, or we win.
Yeah, I think,
Well,
I
you've been
think this
wrong.
ties it.
You've been wrong on every instant.
Why don't you guess? And then he,
I'm gonna say that there's that Hogwarts. There's no way that's a dinosaur.
I
It
would
says
bet
Hogwarts.
a week's pay it is.
All right,
Dracorex? Really?
let's go with not a real dinosaur.
Is it not a real dinosaur?
Wear a Greg Norman shirt.
No way that could be.
Of course it's a real dinosaur. It means Dragon King of
Yoshi said there's
Hogwarts.
no way.
And
I
yes,
did say there's
Perloff,
no-
it was named
There's no
for
way
the
that that's
school
real.
in Harry
Come on.
Potter.
Hogwarts, you're better than that.
They don't know what.
The row that
How could they
safely
possibly-
survives
why they
Jurassic
lying?
World is the front row. Congratulations to you. And congratulations to you, Fritzy, on fitting into that Greg Norman shirt. It's a beautiful shirt on there. Da-na-na-na-na. This is the box score, and we are taking a break. To remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. Wouldn't need one if it drug a stegosaurus up and down the street. No, it's got plenty of towing power. Throw a brontosaurus back there. Throw a brontosaurus burger back there. Guts Glory Ram. Welcome back to the box score, closing up shop here at the old saloon. Guys, today's golf second major, the U.S. Open, the 115th, that tees off from Chambers Bay in Washington State. Now, Paulie, I know you don't like to golf, or probably couldn't golf, but if you could go anywhere in the world and sit in a clubhouse and drink, which one would it be?
First of all, Brock, I love golf. I used to be a caddy, and I wish I was better at it, and I actually enjoy playing. But if I could go anywhere to sit and have a drink, I want to go to St. Andrews once in my life. I got to go to oh gosh, there's a place called, I can't remember the name of the place. I went in Ireland. I went to this golf course, and I was gonna play, and it was so nice. The entire property was so nice. I was like, I can't disrespect this course and go play on it. But it was the wood, the brass, the leather, the old school look of it. I really get a kick out of those Ireland, Scotland golf courses.
It's not easy to play poorly on a nice. It's like, I mean, it is easy. It's very easy, but it's not a good feeling to play poorly when there's like good people around and you feel like you're holding everything up. You got to look for your ball in the woods and all this stuff. Not a good time at all.
Yeah, but I would love to go to the 19th hole at any of those places.
Heck yeah.
Hey, Seton, have you ever been golfing with the boss?
No, never, and I don't believe I ever will. Not a time in my life. There's one. You know, when we tell the story about sitting next to Dan on a plane and he looks up, he's like, oh, God, you gotta be kidding me. And he puts on his headphones and doesn't even look at you the rest of the flight. Dan will go and have like beer and wings. He'll go out to dinner. He'll take us to do really cool stuff. We are not going to play golf with him ever. That's like his one remaining sanctuary that he still has. He has no interest in any of us being out there with him.
He's never asked us
Never.
once, ever.
Never.
Well, McLovin, no offense here, but you're no professional golfer either. But what if Phil Mickelson invited you to go out and play Bethpage Black? Would you join him?
Bethpage, yeah, that's where we went and saw US Open,
That's
right?
a tough course.
I couldn't even walk a hole, like literally, without having to hit a golf ball on it. I was like exhausted by the time I got from one side of a hole. That course is so damn long, forget it.
I played just last summer with a group of 3 friends, and one of the guys was pretty good, and he was so impatient and rushing me that I say, dude, I go either back off or or I'll just split. And because he was not that good of a golfer, he was a power hitter, but he wasn't that great. I was like, hey, you learn a lot about people on a golf course.
Yeah.
And I was like, back off, man. I'm not horrendous out here, and I'm not taking all day. So it was funny.
Yeah, I'd like to salute all the people that had to play with me in the father-son tournament back in those days. If you want to see great golf, though, go to the DirecTV U.S. Open experience on channels 701 through 705. Nice little plug there. Fritzy, who is on tomorrow, sir?
Former NFL running back and what I like to call an MMA enthusiast, Herschel Walker, will be with us in studio here in the Milford Man Cave. Brandel Chambly of the Golf Channel will help us recap round 1 and give us the latest from round 2 from Chambers Bay. And maybe Doc Rivers will come back. He unfortunately got lost on us today. And we'll see what else we can do. Blackhawks, Warriors, who knows what. I did get a note that The Rock may join us on the phone tomorrow. So a lot of stuff cooking for Friday, Fritzy.
You smell what The Rock is?
Fantastic.
You smell what The Rock is cooking.
All right, I smell it, and the millions and millions. We're back tomorrow, same time, same channel. The podcast, of course, is available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Cheers.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!